Oy. Hi everyone. We're starting soon. Get rid of this. Oh shit. Go to this. Okay. I do this. Okay. All right, Mom Brain, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What am I doing here? 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 763, the Serena Podcast. Serena. The Go Nintendo Podcast is part of the Greenlit Podcast Network at greenlitpodcasts.com. Mom Brain, please tell us about Serena.
The T is silent. I'll tell you that much. Its long, striking legs aren't just for show, but to be used to kick with skill. Like what is that, the secretary bird that like kills people with a kick?
What? I've never heard of this.
Oh, yeah. They're the ones with like the beautiful eyelashes. They're like real pretty.
A bird that kills someone with a kick.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Are you sure this isn't something like you read about in Narnia or something?
Fever dream I had. Okay, so it shows. Oh, in victory, it shows off by kicking the defeated, laughing boisterously.
That's right. Your kind of Pokemon.
Yeah. They're 4 feet tall, 47 pounds. I think they're all female. The category is fruit.
Fruit category. Fruit Pokemon.
Their abilities include Leaf Guard and, oh my god, Queenly Majesty. That's an ability. Queenly Majesty.
Wonder what that means. Thanks, Mom Brain.
My pleasure.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Giant Reggie and Steel Diver and Lion Quinn and Autumnal Blake and Blunners and Mom Brain and Porpoise Muffins and Hiley and Tom and whoever, Dre Gamer, whoever else is in there that I didn't see. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you're doing well. And staying home and keeping safe, and family and friends are all good. But yeah, Mom Brain, let's do a check-in. You had a little bit of a breakdown last week. How you doing?
I'm doing much better, thank you. It's been
1 week since
we canceled school. It's actually been more than that. I feel much more adapted to this temporary normal this week than I did last week. I think last week things were really all just, crashing down on me. But much better this week.
Porpoise Muffins says he hasn't been out of the house in 2 weeks.
I mean,
and Steel Diver hasn't pooped in 2 weeks.
Well,
I'm trying to think of the last time I was out of the house. Not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, I guess.
Yeah, I went out on,
which really isn't all that weird for me.
I went out Monday, right, to pick up groceries, like, to drive to the store, and they like load them in the back of your car.
Reginilla says he hasn't been out of the house in 2 weeks. Well, keep the streak going, my friend.
Well, I mean, I've been out running.
Reginilla knew this was coming. He's like, I'm getting prepared. I'm going to start self-quarantining 2 years before, so this is totally normal for me.
I have a grocery pickup tomorrow evening. And then next week I was able to get a delivery slot. So we're going to have our groceries delivered. We're like rolling in it right now. It's very exciting. Real bougie.
There was something I wanted to say. It's gone. I'll get back to it. Anyway, before we get into a whole bunch of other stuff, I want to say thank you to the gang behind Hypercharge Unboxed, because they're sponsoring the site this week. And we're going to give them a little plug on the podcast. They are Hypercharge Unboxed is a co-op first-person shooter with split screen and online multiplayer. There's some you fight enemies in waves, and there's some tower defense mechanics in there. I've played it. a considerable amount. I really like the game, but the reason we're talking about it is because there is a major update. Well, look who's coming in. There's a major update.
Is fun.
For the game. And the update has free bobbleheads, new characters, new skins, new stats page, dioramas, bug fixes, tweaks, new options, and more. I said free, but I should have said free everything. The entire update is free. All the content is free. So thanks to the Hypercharge Unboxed gang for sponsoring us. And if you're
hello to my fans.
if you're looking for something to play, maybe you could check that out. Hello, Josh. How are you doing this week?
Sure, whatever.
Thanks, Josh. Bean525 says, "Hey everyone. First time I've had the opportunity to join the live chat. Happy to be here. We are happy to have you. Thanks for joining, Bean." And Bean, let me tell you, that's a great name. All right. So
You guys heard that Beans song on TikTok? Will you sing it for me, Rami?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Beans, 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 beans.
I don't know this song. I'm guessing it's because 99% of the TikToks you look at are cat related that you're getting songs that I don't hear.
Yeah, it's not as good as Am I a Lady or Am I a Rat? That is in my head all day long. I want you to know that, I mean, I like get myself semi-presentable for like, you know, I'm like meeting via Zoom with like families and kids and colleagues all week long. But, you know, my camera's not that good. So I don't really have to like, you know, put on makeup or anything. And obviously I don't have to wear like any, you know, anything but sweatpants. Just the top half has to look decent. And I looked at myself in the mirror earlier today and I wasn't sure if I was a lady or if I was a rat. And so I showered and blew dry my hair for the first time in, well, I mean, I've showered, but haven't blown my hair dry and I can't tell you how long.
Why can't you be a beautiful rat lady?
Well, I mean,
Just
that's
like
the song.
The beautiful pigeon lady from Home Alone 2.
If I'm a rat, I'm a ladylike rat.
I know the song. You know why I know the song? Because you sing it all the time. And you're like, this is the best song ever. I'm like, I don't think so. What is this maneuver?
There goes a rat.
A rat think cat. Yes, I'm very familiar with the song. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. That's what I need. Now that
I'm the world's best
he
singer.
is. That is a song, man. That's the song you need. That's the song that needs to be on TikTok. Everybody should be using that one.
Why would you say that?
Because I think you're a lovely singer, Josh. I didn't mean it in a bad way.
Sure, whatever.
Oh, you know, this guy takes a compliment the wrong way. Yes, Porpoise Muffins, Josh's world tour has been temporarily postponed while this is going on. But, you know, since Josh is a robot, he can easily broadcast his concerts
We'll just have to wait and see.
on the internet. So maybe we could get details on that for you. All right. First off, I want to give a big thank you to you guys and girls and everyone else because you've really been supporting the site while this is going on. Obviously, you're stuck in your houses, most of you, and you're probably bored out of your mind and you're playing games and going on the internet, reading whatever, Reddit and whatever. But you're also going to GoNintendo. And I just have to thank you for the support because it's been insane. There's so much going on and such an unbelievable amount of traffic. It's crazy. It's so the traffic is so heavy right now that like images on the site are slow to load and the site is slower than usual.
Is the site having heavy rotations?
It is. The site is having heavy rotations, but it's fine. It's hanging in there. It's just, you know, so things are slower than usual because there's so much going on. So thank you to everybody who's been coming and hanging out and
You're too slow.
reading stories and checking out the Twitter and Facebook and all that. Hello, Axel. Good to see you.
Well, I'm Squidward.
So yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I'm doing my best to keep the site as up to date as possible. Obviously, even with all this going on, there's still plenty of video game news to cover. And we've been doing that.
No way! I don't believe it!
It's true. I would say there's actually been more news while this is going on than usual. I'll like sit down at the computer at noon after going to bed at 7 or like 7:30, and I'll work through to 7 at night without like stopping because that's just the first round of news. There's just so much going on, especially this week, which we'll get into later. I don't know that it makes me feel like that. Did I? No, I didn't. Also, we had another week of features, and because I'm an idiot, I didn't make the list like I wanted to, so I don't remember what features we did. I know I did one that was all about the best local multiplayer games to play on Switch for those of you who are stuck in a house with family or friends.
Or just people who you would not consider family or friends.
People you don't like. Yeah, sure. If you're looking for something to do and keep the family engaged and just get everybody like smiling and laughing and having fun, I put together a big list of what I consider to be some of the best local multiplayer games on the Switch.
I'm going to hope that Mario Party's not in there because it could turn sour real fast.
Mario Party is definitely in there, but there is a warning about it, of course. Yes, Mario Party can get a little crazy, so... but yeah, I don't know how many games are in there. And I only picked games that I personally have played and experienced. So I'm not like, this is a local multiplayer game that I know about, but I haven't played it, but I heard it's good. That's not a recommendation really, because I can't tell you anything about it. So this is personal recommendation. Hello, Beaverhausen. Good to see you. And then there's a whole, God, why can't I remember anything but that one? Oh, I talked about the Nintendo Direct Mini and my favorite things from that as well. But yes, a whole week of features again. A new feature every day through the work week, so Monday through Friday. And obviously, if you're a member of the Patreon, there's another feature Monday through Friday as well. So if you're on the Patreon, which is $1, you get double the features.
I have spoken.
You really like that one. Nobody uses that but you. I'm glad you use it.
I love that one.
Well, I'm glad you do.
Did you ever notice?
Well, now you do. Yeah.
You don't really go back there very often, but when you go into the back of the basement and you shut the door, the like pa-dong sound it makes reminds me of The Mandalorian.
I don't know what I'm gonna have to pay attention. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I don't know if I made this a top story, but I really want to talk about it. And I know hello, Freddie Fro. I know Mom Brain has no idea about this, so I'm very excited. Netflix. This is not April Fool's, no matter how much it sounds. Are you just going to sit here and stare at me like this, cat? Like he's right up against me.
He loves you so much. He's so in love with you.
Netflix has announced a live action adaptation of Dragon's Lair.
What?
Yes, of Dragon's Lair. I think they're doing like a one-off. I don't think it's going to be a series. I think it's going to be like a movie or something. I don't know. They haven't said specifics yet.
Wow, that's like right up my alley.
Did I say Drake? Hi, Drake. Yes. And in talks to play the lead role of Dirk the Daring is Ryan Reynolds, which is a good pick.
Yeah.
Because Dirk the Daring is, a hero, but he's very goofy and I don't remember if he talks in the game. I don't think he talks at all, but he's very like slapsticky and goofy. And honestly, I think the characters kind of look like him. Hello, Roth. Thanks for that gif of Dragon's Lair. So Dragon's Lair is, it started out in the arcade and it's been ported to a bazillion things. I don't think it's on the Switch, but it's been on so many things. Like it went to the Game Boy Color. They did a port for the Game Boy Color a long time ago. You can get it just for DVD players. It's been everywhere. I'm going to forget the one guy's name, but I know it was pretty much the brainchild of Don Bluth, who used to be a Disney animator and then went on to do his own things like Fievel Goes West or Fievel, whatever the first one is, American Tail.
Yeah.
And Secret of Nim and lots of great animated movies. Fern Gully he did. And all the people, or not all the people, but 4 or 5 of the people who were involved in creating Dragon's Lair, including Don Bluth, are involved with the Netflix show series, whatever it ends up being. So
unbelievable.
I think that's a fun idea because the casting or the potential casting of Ryan Reynolds leads me to believe that they're going to try and capture the essence of the game. Like it's going to be goofy and silly, but an action adventure kind of thing, which I'm excited about. They're not going for like a gritty reboot or like a serious remake or retelling or something like that. So I'm actually very interested in it. Netflix is going all in on games. I was saying that on the site. They have had great success with Castlevania, which they just released season 3 and announced season 4 yesterday. They have had a major hit with The Witcher, which season 2 was filming but has been postponed due to the pandemic, but they're going to pick that back up. Netflix and gaming. Angry Birds. They have an Angry Birds series coming out because apparently the Angry Birds movie, I don't know if both of them are on Netflix, but whatever ones are on Netflix do really well, apparently. And we're in the top 10 most viewed overall on Netflix. So, yeah, they're really dipping their toes into gaming lately, and they've had an anime push for a while. So for weeaboos like us, Netflix is great. Hello, Mime Without a Cause. Thanks for joining.
Blunners was asking after your parents' health and well-being.
Who was?
Blunners.
Oh, I don't know why, but to me it sounded like you said Bolognius.
Bolognius wants to know. Bolognius is a great name.
You want to know how my parents are doing?
Blunner says, how's your parents, Rummy? Mine are in lockdown. Had my birthday on Thursday. Couldn't see them. Gutted.
Well, happy birthday, first off. My parents are good as far as I know. They are in self-quarantine and practicing all the things they should be and staying safe. They only go out when they need food. To tell you the truth, I think they're getting food delivered. I think they have gotten delivered slots.
Yeah.
But there are things that they need to go out for. For my mom's health, my dad went out to the pharmacy recently and he got all suited up. He had a bandana over his face and he had gloves on.
So he decided to rob the joint.
And he went into the store and he said there were a whole bunch of people in there and all of them were acting like nothing was wrong. And he's like, what is going on with these people? But because he was dressed up to protect himself, they all thought he was infected. So they stayed away from him. So he's like, this is great. Nobody's going to bother me.
My body is ready.
So he is, he's taking care of himself. My mom's good. Everybody is good.
A. Beaverhausen says, my Nana went out for lottery tickets yesterday with the face.
Only the lottery, essential retail.
Look, I
gotta keep that economy going.
I understand. Well, it's actually not A. Beaverhausen anymore. It's Anastasia or Anastasia Beaverhausen. That's a great name. I am dealing with the same with my family, although my grandmother appears to be trying to do the right thing. She's like not leaving the house, but whatever. My parents, I think, are slowly but surely coming along. But I don't know that they're completely understanding the whole, like the weight of the actual situation.
Thankfully, everyone in my family is and has been following the rules. So that's good. This is one of those situations where you don't want to kind of follow the rules or try to follow the rules. I mean, they're
not like, trying to go to the mall or like anything like that. Well, because they don't live here. So where they live, things are a little bit different. But, I think that in the last week, they've started to really shut it down.
Well, that's good that they finally made that decision.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen countless people say it. All you're being asked to do is stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and do your food shopping if you have to. Obviously, you need groceries. That everybody understands that. That's a necessity, obviously. But yeah, all you're being asked to do is stay home. Just hang in your house. That's it.
Have you seen the meme that is a person standing looking out the window and it's like, hello, 911. I see someone driving and I know they're not going to the grocery store.
No, I have not seen that, but I have seen this, which I didn't show you, but I'll show you now. It is a picture of Hulk Hogan wearing a championship belt. He's standing by a door looking outside the window longingly. And the text says, when you want to go out and run wild on someone, but you're quarantined at home. Oh, man. Just the picture alone is one of my favorite pictures, but with that text, it's so apropos. All right.
Thanks. Very cool.
Thanks, Josh. You're very cool. All right. Let's do some news. I'll wait. Thank you, Mom Brain. Masahiro Sakurai, the main brain behind Smash Brothers in general, says that there's no guarantee he's going to keep making Smash games after the DLC for Smash Brothers Ultimate is done. He says, quote, That's how I approach game development whenever I start a new project. Though honestly, there's no guarantee I'll keep making games after this. Right now, all I'm thinking about is Smash Brothers DLC development. Once that's done, I actually have absolutely nothing lined up. Well, I think my mom is in the Discord.
And you know how you know for sure it's your mom?
Hi, honey.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining. We were
Hi.
just talking. People were just asking about you and Dad. Hi, Larsky. So yeah, excuse me. He doesn't know what he's going to do afterwards, and you know what? I think that's okay because he's worked his butt off and is still working his butt off along with the rest of the team on Smash Brothers Ultimate. And he pretty much went from Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS right into Ultimate. And he's got another year at least of work for DLC for Smash Brothers Ultimate. So yeah, it's nice to not have something lined up. And I don't see anything wrong with him taking a break for a while. I'm sure. Hello, Wolfric Chaser. I'm sure.
Wolfric Chaser, this is for you.
I'm sure he would take. It would be nice to take a break for a while, and then get rejuvenated and maybe come back and have a new game idea, something that's not related to Smash Brothers. That would be lovely. But yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about this. I'm sure he's not done making games, and it would be lovely to see what he could do outside of Smash Brothers because he hasn't done that in a while. But yeah, like I said, he's got another year at least of Smash Brothers work. Haleman says, in my eyes, this statement makes it easy to assume that he wants to quit making Smash Brothers. I mean, he even doesn't rule out to quit making games. That really is something. It's always hard when you get a Japanese translation because there will be take 5 different people who really know Japanese and are fluent in it and give them all the same text, and they'll all give it a little different flavor. And also on top of that, through text, sometimes you just don't know what the intention was or the inflection or the meaning or any of that. So, he probably said it with a bit of a chuckle or jokingly, or I guess technically he didn't say it because it was for Famitsu. It's the feature he writes every couple of weeks. So yeah, we don't, I'm sure he wouldn't be taking to his Famitsu column to secretly cry out and say, please help me. I don't want to do this anymore. But on the other hand, I'm sure he's got lots of work and he's stressed out. So yeah, I wouldn't worry. I think he just needs a break to recharge, and then he'll get back to something else. Mom Brain.
I fight for my friends.
Mom Brain. Can I have a drum roll, please?
Oh my god, hold
on. Animal Crossing New Horizons has been a huge hit. In the UK, the game sales are for launch week anyway, were 3.5 times bigger than New Leaf, the previous record holder. And that doesn't even include digital sales. Hello, Solid Master Link. Are you going to hit something? You're looking like you want to hit something over there.
I want to hit something.
So yeah, the game is quite big in the UK. And when you factor in that Nintendo doesn't count...
The game is fun.
Nintendo doesn't put out totals for the digital sales, you realize just how much bigger it is. And UK, again, as I always say, isn't exactly Nintendo territory. It's PlayStation territory, but it seems
Not even close.
It seems that people can't resist Animal Crossing. The whole world's going crazy for Animal Crossing.
I was just playing Animal Crossing with someone in the UK.
Were you real? Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Also, Animal Crossing New Horizons launch sales in the UK are bigger than all other Animal Crossing games combined, including the spin-offs. So take any game in the Animal Crossing series, look at the launch sales in the UK, and all those combined, New Horizons still beats it. My mom, again, who is in the chat, is playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I believe she visited my sister's island yesterday.
Well, today, your sister and I visited each other's islands.
Whoa. Tanuki Tony, what a great name, says, wow, that's a huge jump. This game couldn't have come at a better time. My partner and I have been playing it nonstop and thoroughly enjoying every second. Well, I can tell you, Mom Brain, while she also works from home and does her teacherly duties when she's not working, she's certainly enjoying Animal Crossing New Horizons.
And I took it to a next level earlier in the week. I made a Corona cabana. I took an air mattress and blew it up and put it on the deck because I wanted to get some sun, and I also wanted to take a nap. And, there's just, it's like airport rules around here now. Anything goes at any time of the day. So I laid outside, and when I got too cold, I brought it inside and I laid on it in the middle of the living room and played Animal Crossing. And then I started to feel like I was on an episode of My 600-Pound Life because I just had put everything I might need within arm's reach of the air mattress. So I would just lay there and reach for my phone and reach for a Pop-Tart.
I think they call that living your best life.
I think so too. So I decided after the cat knocked down a plant, because he is also bored and I think annoyed that I'm home all the time. He knocked a plant down and I had to get the vacuum out. And I thought, you know what? Let's just clean up the living room.
I knew there was
no
no chance you were going to not just continue to vacuum and clean up. And I was so disappointed when I walked in the living room to see all that stuff gone. I was like, I knew it. I knew she was going to clean that up. It was the perfect setup. I don't know why you did that.
I mean, I think that I have a bigger air mattress. We have another air mattress.
I mean, we could put both of them together.
We have another one. I just can't remember what size it is. And I think that I know where the pump is for that one.
Freddie Fro says, we made an air mattress for it around New Year's, and you're inspiring us to do that again.
Yeah, do it, Freddie Fro.
Hi, Arcade Token. Good to see you. Moving on. Are we going to do this? Yeah, I'll talk about some of this. Reggie Fils-Aimé gave a speech at Cornell University, which included a Q&A, and we've covered some of the stuff from that, but now we have more details. I'll give you the most interesting bullet points. Reggie said that Iwata's passing away made him realize how painfully short life is, and he thinks you should live your life to the fullest every day. Very good advice. Reggie saw that the GameCube wasn't working out for Nintendo, and that's what made him want to join up with Nintendo so he could potentially use some of his expertise in marketing and all that to get the word out. Reggie thinks it was in 2000 when Nintendo decided not to focus on graphics. Obviously, Nintendo was pretty much neck and neck with everybody in the graphics war, and then they broke away and they've been doing their own thing for 20 years now. At least when it comes to graphics, they're always doing their own thing. But yeah, graphics-wise, they decided to take a different path. Reggie says that he believes Animal Crossing can help kids learn about mortgages. I mean, it's true, except
kids should not have to learn about mortgages.
Except, there's the whole argument about how kids should learn, banking and all that stuff in school, and we don't.
They should. You're right.
There's so many things where I was like, boy, I wish they showed this in school instead of teaching me, some archaic math form that I'm never going to use in real life.
I know.
No, I don't. You're not saying anything. I don't know.
Mortgages are so depressing. And I'm so grateful that, as a kid, my parents weren't overly here's all your chores and you have to da-da-da-da-da. My mom was like, look, you got plenty of time to do that when you're a grown up. Just go have a good time, go outside and play. And they had a good balance. Well, look, I spent a good amount of time punished for bad grades, but they were they taught me financial responsibility and, do I listen? No, but they taught it to me. But there's just so much stuff that I know kids need to learn about, but
yeah, you're making a terrible argument here.
I know.
You're just saying let kids be kids, which is fine, yes, but they could still learn about that stuff.
Yeah.
Reggie believes that game updates are a great way to keep people hooked on a game longer, which is obvious. Reggie's working on a new book. And it's in a proposal phase. Apparently, he had another proposal that was rejected, so he's revamping it. The book focuses on his principles and a part of his life, but it doesn't say what part. Reggie says that during the Wii U era, he and other executives took huge pay cuts to avoid massive layoffs, which we talked about a bit back in the Wii U days. I remember there being discussion about that. And Reggie says that Iwata was the mastermind behind the Wii's success. Which again is not surprising. Iwata was a very special guy, and the industry sorely misses him without a doubt. Reggie says his favorite E3 moments include kicking butt and taking names, the presentation of the DS, and the presentation of the Wii. And Reggie loves the memes that people make of him. He says video games don't necessarily need to have a complex story to be successful. He says Zelda doesn't have an all that complex story. I don't know if that's the best example. Zelda certainly doesn't have a complex story, but it has a more sophisticated story than
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
Mario or something like that. Reggie says Nintendo America has grown enough so that Doug Bowser could take the reins over from him. He says that hacks and ROMs are not the main reason for the existence of Super Mario Maker, but the team was very well aware of them. He says Nintendo is very aggressive about protecting their IPs. He says Japanese and Western culture and Nintendo fit together very well, and that their IPs have multimedia potential, which we are seeing because there's a Super Mario movie coming up, animated. Blah, 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 blah. I think that's it. We got enough from Reggie there. So,
I gotta go full my sourdough. Be back in a
okay,
minute.
goodbye. What? Oh, okay.
We gotta celebrate.
Well, it's just me then. Mom Brain, can I have a drum roll, please? Oh, well, you don't have to run back. You don't have to run back. I don't want you to ruin your sourdough.
Our sourdough.
Animal Crossing New Horizons has broken a record for the best-selling game of the week for all time at a Japanese retailer. This is Geo Corporation, which is well known in Japan for game sales. They said that Animal Crossing took the #1 spot for the week it launched, but obviously there's a bigger deal than that. It's now the #1 best-selling Switch software of all time for their stores, and it's also the top-selling video game of the week for all time. And that is just in the first week. Once again, showing you just how nuts things are when it comes to Animal Crossing. Giant Reggie says, you hear that? That's Tom Nook's pockets jingling with all those bells made from selling one-way tickets to deserted islands. Tom Nook is always living pretty. Hello, Ridley Soria. Thanks for dropping in. Tom Nook's pockets are always lined, but yeah, this time in particular, he is sitting very pretty. This was a really cool story that popped up during the week. It's a little bit sad, obviously, but it's got a nice ending to it. So a lot of people, as we said at the start of the show, are home practicing social distancing and in self-quarantine, and that means a lot of events that happened in or were going to happen in real life can no longer happen because people aren't getting together and venues are closed and stuff like that. So things are getting canceled, including, unfortunately, weddings, and one wedding was called off because of this, and obviously the people who are going to get married were very upset, but the fiance of this one person decided to put together a little secret. So what the fiance did was they reached out to a whole bunch of friends who have Animal Crossing New Horizons, got them together, and they decorated an island for a wedding. And he got his fiance to come to the island. And hello, Mark. She didn't know that there was going to be a wedding that day. So she walked into the game with her fiance, and there was a surprise wedding, and all their friends were there. I think that's such a cool idea.
And then, but like, what about the honeymoon?
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low.
I'm sure maybe they walked into their house and everybody respected the rules and stayed outside and waited for them to consummate the marriage. So yeah, this is really cool, especially because the fiance also graduated from medical school, and they didn't get a graduation for that either. The graduation was canceled, so she was feeling extra down about everything. So I just think it's really cool. Hello, did I say Alawolf? Hello, Alawolf. I just think it's really awesome that they did that. It's a very, obviously it's making the best of a bad situation, but it's just cool. You have a virtual get together with friends and celebrate something that you'll get to celebrate in real life later, but for now it's better than nothing. Digless says, that's so nice. I hope this will get back to the team at Nintendo. I would imagine. Sorry, getting choked up.
Oh, that's
I would imagine
nice.
that's going to be the case. Yeah.
That was a really great story.
Wow, Josh. I didn't think Josh is an old softy. Yeah, it is a really great story, and I'm sure Nintendo has heard about it without a doubt. Nintendo's always keeping an eye on social media and seeing what's popular, who's talking about what. I mean, that's how they hooked up with Brie Larson to officially advertise Animal Crossing New Horizons, because they saw that she was talking about how big of a Nintendo fan she was and how excited she is about Nintendo games. So they eventually reached out to her. Yes, Mom Brain? Did I say Wolfric Chaser? Hello, Wolfric Chaser. Mom Brain, yes. You look like you had something to say.
No.
Here's something that's really interesting. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Mom Brain, you played that A little bit, but not a
Yeah.
lot. What
Yeah.
was it about Pocket Camp that really didn't tickle your fancy?
It just felt like really, really repetitive.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if I'd stuck with it, it would have opened up a little more.
Because
Just
we have a friend who was really into it.
yeah.
Yes, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is the mobile Animal Crossing game, and it's been out for some time. And as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats, because Animal Crossing Pocket Camp has seen a huge surge in revenue and downloads since New Horizons launched. Players spending on March 21st came in at $253,000. That is the game's best day since March 2nd. The game also generated approximately $3.6 million for the month, and downloads have risen by 150%, from 520,000 downloads in February to 1.3 million as of March 21st. So we're still not at the end of March. More is coming. This asshole's looking at jumping up there. Watch him. The cat is looking at the shelf the laptop is on. He's like, yeah, I can make that jump. And the week of March 16th saw an additional 670,000 installs. So, yeah, when people are not playing Animal Crossing New Horizons on their Switch, they are deciding to play Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on their phones, even though the Switch is portable. So wherever people are right now, they're playing Animal Crossing one way or another. Guy Bones says, I did have it before, but re-downloaded the app to my Android so I could get the furniture. That is true. There's a crossover content between the two. You can get furniture from Pocket Camp and bring it into New Horizons. And as far as I know, that is the only way to get that furniture. Mom Brain, are you listening?
Only way to get your furniture.
Go ahead.
Pocket Camp.
Put it all together.
You gotta use Pocket Camp and the Nook link, right?
I don't know what the specifics are,
I think
but
it's
yeah,
Nook
there's
link.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp furniture that you can only get in New Horizons by connecting the two or activating between the two. Guybone says, a day later, the app pushed a notification on, and I uninstalled it right after. I mean, can't you tell games to not let you know? Doesn't every app or game on mobile pretty much now ask you if you want notifications, push notifications,
Yeah.
and you can say no? Guybones, just turn it off if you don't want them. It's okay. I mean, it'll probably stay on your phone and take up space, and you'll forget that it's there. But you don't have to be. I always, unless it's like an important messaging app or like something social that I'm actually interested in, I always turn off push notifications. Any game I say no, any like superfluous app, I'm like, nope, don't bother me. What are we at here for?
Quit pestering me.
Okay. Fortune. Can I get a drum roll, please? Fortune has named both Mario and Pokemon among the top 100 greatest designs of modern times.
Delicious.
Mario and Pokemon. Fortune teamed up with the IIT Institute of Design for a top 100 list. It is the top 100 greatest designs of modern times, and it includes products that are examples of, quote, greatest designs of products that have made our lives simpler, better, and more stylish. Mario as a franchise came in at spot 44, and Pokemon came in at 67. Do Mario games, or does the Mario franchise make our lives simpler? No. Does it make them better? I would say yes, it does. Is it stylish? Sure, why not?
Whoa.
Pokemon is stylish as well, and it makes our lives better because we play them and we have fun. So as far as I know, those are the only two game-related things on the list. Pajab says, wonder why the Game Boy wasn't included. I don't know. I don't know that Game Boy is exactly timeless. It might be timeless to Nintendo fans and gamers in general, but not as timeless as something like Mario or Pokemon.
Yeah.
Game Boy had its
Boring.
time.
It's not as,
and went away, but Mario has been around forever, and Pokemon has been around for slightly less forever. Nintendo talked about their approach to character customization and stuff like that in Animal Crossing New Horizons, because people have noticed there are some major changes. Like, for example, clothing isn't tied to I'm going to say gender, even though the game doesn't say gender. I think it says style. Clothing isn't tied to your style. Basically, you can wear whatever the hell you want. And the Washington Post talked to producer Hisashi Nogami about these decisions. And Nogami says that the customization options aren't just about gender. The new options are tied to the team's overall feeling that society is shifting to valuing a lot of people's different identities. Quote, we basically wanted to create a game where users didn't really have to think about gender, or if they wanted to think about gender, they're also able to.
Outstanding.
I knew you had something coming. The wording in other versions of the game, like in other localizations, is slightly different than here in North America, but the option for clothing and all that is exactly the same. I mean, that I don't care. Like, that's great. That's how it should be. Let me wear whatever I want to wear in a game. Like, don't restrict it just because, gender norms or whatever. It's a video game. If I want to, I don't care. Traditional clothing or goofy costumes or whatever. Yeah, I think that's great. And it's cool to see Nintendo openly talking about that stuff. It's not something.
Wake up.
Right? It's time.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah, all right.
I am. Autumnal Blake has the top rated comment here, but I don't know if they would like it read on the podcast.
Autumnal Blake?
They're in the chat. I'll read the next comment down. Autumnal Blake, if you're cool with it, I will read it, but if you're not, that's fine too. John says, all about that. Good on Nintendo. Yes, it is very cool. Nintendo's a really interesting company because in some ways, okay, I will read it. In some ways, they are progressive, and in some ways, they are not. But it seems they're always learning, which is the important part. Autumnal Blake says, which is the top-rated comment on the site, by the way. I'm someone who is currently struggling with gender identity, so not having to pick male or female at the start of the game was just the nicest thing. Seeing animal villagers mention romantic partners of the same sex is also awesome. This game was handled extremely well in this regard. Like I said, it's different depending on
Link are the hero.
like I said, in different regions, the wording is handled in different ways. But the Treehouse localization team for North America certainly put their spin on it, and I'm sure had calls from Nintendo proper saying what to do and what not to do. But yeah, it's very interesting to see. I'm very happy they're taking the path that they are. Nintendo says that their Animal Crossing New Horizons post-launch content development schedule
that was like a big phrase.
Animal Crossing New Horizons, you know that one.
Well, I know. I just
post-launch, after launch, content development schedule.
You know what I mean?
May be impacted by coronavirus. So events are handled in game this time by Nintendo pushes them out. They push them live. So like the upcoming, what's it called? Bunny Day or whatever. That's what it's called, right?
I think so.
That is going to be pushed out by Nintendo, but because of potential impact from the coronavirus, other events might be pushed back a bit. They're not sure. They haven't said anything has changed as of right now. They're just saying it could obviously happen.
Our town, like the town we live in real life, our Easter egg hunt has been canceled for the year.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I want to say that's the first time it's ever been canceled.
Autumnal Blake says, obviously, it is far more important that the developers all remain healthy, but I am curious as to how they will do this, with some events ideally being ready for specific days. Whatever happens, it's great to see health being a priority here. Yeah, that's the important part. Whatever. If I don't know, what's an upcoming holiday? What's in
Easter?
April? No, that's going on as planned.
That's in April.
Well, anything else?
I don't think
What's
so.
in May?
Is Mother's Day in May? Mother's Day's in May.
Sure, there's a Mother's Day, and if that gets
Mothering Sunday is in April in the UK.
Mother, if that gets pushed back a bit, what's the big deal? You just celebrate it later. It's fine. You get your in-game content. It's cool. You don't have to worry about it. There is a rumor. Well, this is a two-part rumor. We had more information on this later in the week. There was a mention in Resident Evil 3's source code of the Nintendo eShop. And Resident Evil 3 is not announced for the Switch right now. So people were like, oh, maybe this means it's coming to the Switch. And that was followed up by a comment from analyst Daniel Ahmad, who says that Capcom is apparently looking into a cloud version of Resident Evil 3, which I'm sure makes people upset. A cloud version means you stream it through the cloud to play it remotely rather than it being a port that you're playing directly on your system. So this will not be a port. It'll be exactly the same thing that Capcom did with Resident Evil 7. Only in Japan, though. They released Resident Evil 7 cloud version in Japan, which let people play Resident Evil 7 on the Switch remotely, but that never went to any other region. As far as I know, it only stayed in Japan. And I would imagine the same thing is going to happen here with Resident Evil 3, if that is the case. Capcom is yet to comment on the matter. Kendrick Lamario says, I mean, they brought every mainline game besides 2 to Switch in some capacity, plus 2 spin-offs. Surely there's a demand for newish Resident Evil games after all. How well this and 2's remake would run is anyone's guess, but after seeing games like Witcher 3 play great, all things considered, I'm sure it could be done. Time to stop giving us scraps, Capcom. Well, unfortunately, that comment came before we found out that it's most likely going to be a cloud version and not a direct port. Which is disappointing because, I don't really, me personally, I don't have issues with a cloud version. Hi, Ice Grove. Thanks for joining. I'd be interested to try it out. But again, like I said, I don't think it would end up releasing outside of Japan. Mom Brain, it is time for the plugs. Can you play our plugs, please? We'll be back in less than a minute.
Just hold on there. Coming at you.
Hey folks, it's Asif Khan, CEO, Editor-in-Chief over there at ShackNews.com. Give a listen to the Shackcast, the official Shack News podcast of Shack News, over there on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Hey Chris, what's the War Rocket Ajax podcast about?
Well, Matt, if we were smart, it'd be about murders, but it's actually about comics.
War Rocket Ajax. It's not about murders, but it is weekly on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Thanks, Mom Brain. I appreciate it.
The pleasure was all mine.
We're going to skip a story because I am waiting for Nintendo to comment on it. I've reached out to my rep and they are getting a comment, so I'll wait.
That's not possible.
I don't feel it's appropriate to discuss until then. Hey, dude, I know this is the 8th time you're in this room, but can you, go away, please? No. All right. God, do I want to do this? All right, I'll talk about it. We've been talking a lot lately about review bombings on Metacritic, and unfortunately, there is another one going on, and this one is tied to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Players over, or potentially people who haven't even played the game, are going over to Metacritic and giving it zeros, and they're giving it ones.
What?
I'm sorry, zeros and tens. The 10 people are fighting the 0 people. The 0 people are saying the game deserves a 0 because it locks each Switch can only have one island. So if you have a Switch in your house and there are multiple people who want to play, then you have to all play on the same island, and whoever starts the island is the main account, and progress on the island is locked to what that main player does. So if you have a main player who's slow, or even a main player who doesn't really care about certain things that you do, you're at their mercy. You can't do things that you might want to do until they, facilitate those things happening, which is certainly annoying. But here's the thing. Is it worth a 0 out of 10? No, it is not. So the 0 out of 10 people are doing that, and I'm sure some of them are legit.
Hey, what happened?
I'm sure some of them are legitimately angry, and I'm sure others are just bandwagoning and throwing zeros on the game because they're like, Animal Crossing is for kids. And then you have the other side of the argument where people are coming in and giving it tens and blah, blah, blah. It's just a mess. And as usual, Metacritic's not doing anything about it. Sean Snocta says, an exercise in futility for both sides. Very well said, my friend. How about instead of doing that, you either play the game and enjoy it or don't play the game?
Ooh, sick burn.
I mean, right? That makes more sense to me.
You
Instead
don't
of
have
just
anything nice to say.
instead of just spending your time online, typing up comments and giving scores on a website that, you'll forget about when you're 10 years older.
What's wrong with you?
Thanks, Reggie. I agree. What's wrong with you? Anna, can I have a drum roll, please? Animal Crossing New Horizons has sold 1.8 million physical units in Japan in 3 days.
Hey, I was ready.
1.8 million physical units in Japan for 3 days, and the Switch sold 392,000 units. Let me give you the breakdown on this because there's all kinds of stuff going on here. 1.8 million units sold in 3 days. That's the physical number only. And I believe later on in the week we found out roughly when you include digital for that 3 day period, it's around 2.5 million in Japan alone. Even if it was only 1.8 million, that still makes it the record for a Switch game launch, beating out the previous record holder, Pokemon Sword and Shield, which did 1.3 million in 3 days. The Switch sold 392,576 units, which is also a record. That is the biggest amount of Switch units sold in Japan for a week, beating out launch week for the Switch, which is nuts. So Animal Crossing is officially a AAA top-tier franchise for Nintendo. It is one of their most important franchises, without a doubt, and it's going to be a very long-tail seller at that. Autumnal Blake says, impressive and well-deserved. This game has decimated my productivity this past week. Yeah, but are you having fun? That's what matters, as long as you're having fun. This is a major one. This is a real major one. I've been asking for a lot of drum rolls, but can I get a drum roll, please? The Switch has officially outsold the Wii in Japan. The Wii. Remember how popular that system was? The Wii in Japan, from launch day to, I don't know, whenever they stopped selling, moved 12.8 million units. It did another 40-something in... what was it? In the Americas, and another 40-something in other regions combined, making for a total of 101 million. But in Japan, it sold 12. No, I'm sorry. The Switch sold. God damn it! The Wii sold 12.7 million units in Japan, and the Switch, as of this past week, has sold 12.8 million units in Japan. So the Switch has officially outsold the Wii in Japan.
No way! I don't believe it!
And the Switch is only just passing its 3-year mark. That's crazy to me. But the
Tetris for Jeff.
Japan loves their portables over their consoles, and we're really seeing it with the Switch because it's 2-in-1. So that's really helping it over in Japan. Sean Snokta has the top-rated comment and says, excuse me, RMC, but this does not align with the Nintendo is doomed rhetoric and must surely be fake news. I apologize for sharing fake news. Nintendo is doomed. Always doomed, forever doomed. Anastasia Beaverhausen says, I say, get it, Nintendo. Get that money, you bitch. What a great comment. Yeah, Nintendo is having quite a good time right now, minus the shortages of the Switch and the Switch Lite. Hi, Joe. Joe made it just in time for Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. One of my, I would say, top 5 soundboard moments.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
I did know that, Josh. I want to say I taught you that.
Thanks. Very cool.
It is very cool. You're right.
Sure, whatever.
We're gonna skip that. Yeah, we're gonna skip that.
Why would you say that?
Well, because we got bigger things to talk about.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
We had a Nintendo Direct Mini this week, so the rumors were true. There was indeed a Nintendo Direct, which they called a mini because I would imagine they were going to show some things, but shifted the schedule around because of what's going on in the world. But we still got roughly 30 minutes of content for games we knew were coming to the Switch, games we didn't know were coming to the Switch, and games that launched that day that we didn't know about. So let's give you the run. What the hell did that do? I've never even seen that in my life. All right, here's what happened during the Nintendo Direct. They announced Good Job, and they released it on the same day. Good Job is a madcap action puzzle game that's published by Nintendo, where you perform hilarious and challenging tasks around a sprawling office building to get the job done by any means necessary, alone or in 2-player mode. I have not played it yet. I've seen the trailers and footage, and it looks interesting to me, but I have heard people say that they really like it, so I want to check that out. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 got its Black Order expansion pass content, Pack 3, which is something about Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four. That's available now. We knew that was coming. Ring Fit Adventure got an update, a free content update that adds a rhythm game mode where you get to play rhythm games to different music, including some Nintendo tracks.
Hey, I was ready.
Yes, Mom Brain, one of the songs has music from Super Mario Odyssey. You just did it, Toe Jam and Earl.
I know.
Shinsekai Into the Depths is available on the Switch now. Capcom did a surprise reveal and launch of that game for the Switch. As far as I know, was an Apple Arcade exclusive, but they worked on a port for the Switch. It's a deep sea exploration game where players collect resources to upgrade their gear, craft items, and dive deeper into the abyss. I'm really excited for that. I meant to play it on Apple Arcade. I just never got the chance to. So now that it's on Switch, I have the perfect excuse, and I'd rather play it there. Panzer Dragoon Remake, which we knew was coming to the Switch, also surprise launched that same day. It's available right now. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy is available on the Switch, which we found out was going to launch that day, roughly 2 days before the Nintendo Direct Mini. But it's available. Hello, Blood Ocean 07. Hello, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Iridocyclitis.
That was a chat request. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition got its release date. It's coming out on May 29th. There is a collector set available as well. In America, it includes a 250-page art book. In other regions, you get a soundtrack, a special steel book, I want to say, or some kind of packaging, and more. Also, the game includes an epilogue called Future Connected. So a little something for players to experience that's brand new that takes place after the end game events. And if you play,
cat smell like taco seasoning?
Because it's rubbing on you. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
I was doing so well, and it's gone. Oh, if you want to play the Future Connected epilogue and you don't want to run through the entirety of Xenoblade Chronicles again, you can play it just right from the start. You don't have to do anything, which is very welcome. We got more information on Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. Bravely Default 2 was shown as well, and there is a demo available for the game right now, and obviously that is free. We finally got confirmation on something that has been rumored for a long time and leaked through a whole bunch of retailers. 2K is giving the Switch a lot of love with 3 massive collections, and they all come out on May 29th. There's the XCOM 2 collection, which contains XCOM 2, 4 DLC packs, and the War of the Chosen expansion. There's also the Borderlands Legendary Collection, which includes Borderlands, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. And finally, there's the BioShock Collection, which includes BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remastered, and BioShock Infinite, the Complete Edition. So there you go. You'll be able to get those individually if you'd like, or you can get them in the collections, and all those collections are going to see retail releases. They will have game cards, but each game card requires a download as well. We have the full details on how much space is needed for each one of those if you're interested. We found out that the new Smash Brothers Ultimate...
Will you smell him and tell me?
No, I won't smell the cat. The next Smash Brothers Ultimate DLC character has been semi-revealed. We know for sure that they are going to be from the ARMS franchise. We just don't know which character.
What happened?
We're going to find out this June what the character is. So ARMS is getting a bit more time in the spotlight, and that goes along with a Switch Online offer for ARMS. You can play ARMS, the full game, completely for free if you have a Switch Online membership until, I want to say, April 4th or 5th. So you can enjoy the whole game. Play it all you want until that offer ends. You don't have to spend a dime outside of your usual Switch Online subscription. My favorite announcement of the Nintendo Direct Mini by far. Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Mom Brain, how much did we play Clubhouse Games?
Like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
Clubhouse Games includes 51 little games for you to play by yourself, or with friends locally, or with friends or strangers online. There's all kinds of wonderful games in there, but really, the only one that matters is Battle Tanks.
Yeah.
And not the N64 Battle Tanks. We're talking about, for those who played, hello, Rakia. For those who played Wii Play, in the Wii Play collection, there was a game called Tanks, where you were a little tank. It was like a tabletop game where you drove a little rinky-dinky tank around, and you had to shoot other tanks. Once you blew up all the other tanks in a level, you moved on to the next level. I want to say there was over 100 levels. You could ricochet bullets off walls. It was... I don't understand.
I thought maybe it would sound a little like a ricochet of a bullet.
No, I'm sorry. Can I have a Price is Right horn, please? It was such a great game, and Mom Brain will back me up in saying that someone
I have to go fold my sourdough.
will back me up in saying that I actually played that game a ton, and our friends played it a ton too. It was, oh man, it was our go-to game for a long time. And when I saw that Tanks, both it's like Battle Tanks and I don't know, Team Tanks, I think it's called, is going to be in Clubhouse Games, I literally jumped out of my chair and screamed because I was so excited. If you have not played Wii Play Tanks, you should. But if you don't have the means to do so, wait until the Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics comes out, and you'll see what I mean. I don't know how much they're changing for this version, but dear Lord, I am so excited. That is worth the price of the whole package for me, without a doubt. And I'm being dead serious. I really mean it. It's so good. So yeah, that was my reveal of the Nintendo Direct Mini, personally. Burnout Paradise Remastered was announced, so EA makes their way back to the Switch with a re-release of a game. But, you know, it's Burnout. Lots of people love Burnout. I'm a fan of Burnout. So Burnout Paradise Remastered is coming to Switch sometime in 2020. We also saw quick looks at Fuser, which we already knew was coming. It's coming out this fall. King's Bounty 2 is coming to the Switch in 2020. Ninjala made its surprise return after being in what seemed like development hell for a long time. Ninjala is back. It's going to support up to 8 players online. There's 4v4 battles. There's free-for-all battles. You use bubblegum to do powered-up moves and sprint around the map. There's hammers and katanas and yo-yos, and it looks really cool. Comes out late May, I believe. And most importantly, it is a free-to-play game. Free to play, which is awesome. That's certainly going to get people to jump in on it. I know I'm very excited about it. And I think they did a great job of differentiating the game from Splatoon. This is not made by Nintendo. It's made by Gung Ho. But when Ninjala was first shown, people were like, oh, it's Splatoon. But no, that's not the case. It certainly looks like it does quite a bit different. Free to play, and you do not need a Switch Online account to play either. So that's another added bonus. So I'm super excited for that. I would imagine it's going to have a very successful launch. Free to play, looks colorful and action packed, and it's online and it's exclusive to the Switch. It's got all the things it needs to be a hit. So I'm really looking forward to that. Catherine Full Body is coming to the Switch. I have 2 copies of Catherine, and I'm probably going to get the Switch one. I've wanted it on the Switch for a long time, and I'm very happy to see that Atlas is doing it. So there's a little proof of what I said a few podcasts ago. Atlas had that survey that was like, would you like us to bring these games to the Switch? And it listed a whole bunch of potential ports. And I said, I would imagine Atlas is already working on some of these, but they're looking for just a little more clarification of where to go in the future. And here we are. Catherine was one of the games that was on the poll, and it's already coming out July 7th. Name of Austin. This one is for you. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. The N64 game is getting re-released on the Switch, and on Switch you will have LAN play. So if you have fond memories of playing Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on the N64 or whatever other platforms it came out on, I want to say Dreamcast had it, it's coming to the Switch, and it's going to be, upscaled and all that jazz. So I played it, And I remember liking it, but I had only rented it. Hello, T Dude. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I remember renting it. So I never got to spend too much time with it, but I did like it. So this will be a good excuse to jump back in. Finally, we got quick release dates for a whole bunch of games or release periods. Saints Row 4 is out now. Trials of Mana comes out April 24th. The Elder Scrolls Blades is still coming, and it's listed at spring 2020, so it should be soon. Shenmue. Minecraft Dungeons is still listed as spring 2020. The developers said their plans might change because of the coronavirus. They're not sure, but they're trying to hit their planned internal release date. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus comes out in May. A brand new Mr. Driller. Mr. Driller Drill Land is coming out June 25th. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 comes out June 30th, and there is a demo available for that now.
Oh, June 30th, huh?
Yeah. Can't think of anything that goes on that day.
No? Excuse me. No?
No, not at all. Vigor is coming to the Switch, which is a looter shooter. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. If you haven't watched the Direct, it's your birthday, okay? If you haven't watched the Direct, I suggest you do that. This guy, man, this is like the 20th time he's jumped up on the table. Digless says, I was very pleased with this mini Direct. Bravely Default 2 looks so amazing. I was pleased with it as well. I thought there was a lot of interesting stuff in there. Oh, boy. Mom Brain.
Yes, dear.
Do you want to take up Nikki Hill's duties here again?
Sure.
All right, it's going to be a long list.
Here we go.
European releases this week.
Good job. Bravely Default 2 demo version. Shinsekai Into the Depths. Did I say that correctly? Excellent. Panzer Dragoon. We also have Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Mistover, the Dr. Faust bundle. Bug Academy.
Dr. Faust.
Bohemian Killing. Jeopardy. This is Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune, of course. I mean, and as it should be, Jeopardy and then Wheel of Fortune. Just saying.
Oh, how they air, you mean?
Yeah.
People are going to think you mean which show is better, but...
No, but if you live in a place that airs Wheel of Fortune and then Jeopardy, I'm sorry. Rhythm of the Gods is coming. Hyperspace Delivery Service. Also... Doggerai and RBI Baseball 20. In addition to Color Grid, Deep Sky Derelicts Definitive Edition, Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. That sounds fancy. Slot. And in parentheses, Sabec.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm saying. Jigsaw Abundance. That's appropriate for this time in our lives. 50 different high quality puzzle images. That's what it is. Card Game Bundle Volume 1. Chaos Code New Sign of Catastrophe is also coming. RFL Enhanced Edition. You can also look forward to the...
That is not RFL. That is ARA-FEL.
Yes, like ARA.
ARA.
Space fell. Whoever ARA is, fell. Also, Indie Darling Bundle Volume 2. Wanaba Warriors. We have Dream Gallery, also Sin Slayers Enhanced Edition, and Trailer Trashers, Necro Worm, and Grand Guilds.
Went to the doctor. He said, I got the Necro Worm.
Wenja, get it. Because Wenja's the next game. Mikarama is coming. Get ready.
Nicaragua?
Yeah. Arcade Archives Ikari 3, The Rescue. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is still coming out. Copper Bell is coming. Repressed. You can look forward to Dark Souls Plus.
Nope.
Duck Souls Plus. Sorry about that,
There we go.
everyone. Because I was so excited to read this one. Gigantosaurus, the game. Children of Zodiarcs. Saints Row.
Hey, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Sagittarius. Saints Row 4 re-elected. And should I read downloadable content?
No, you did it. Congratulations.
That was
Told you it was going to be long.
That was really painful.
Sorry,
Freddie Fro.
I wasn't listening.
Freddie Fro. I saw your comment about Kirby and Nikki Hill. We do miss them, and it has been too long since they've been on the show, and they do want to be on the show. I saw your Zoom suggestion, but I honestly, first off, Kirby doesn't have Wi-Fi, so he would have to use his phone data. So, oh no, I guess he could go on his desktop and do it. I don't know. I could look into it this week. I don't know how that would work out. I'd be nervous about conferencing in everybody and streaming the show.
Well, what if can you do like a multi-way speaker call? Like, can I just put call both of them and then have them on speakerphone?
Yeah, but that's not going to be the best quality.
Why not? Why don't we just get a bunch of clips of them talking and put them on the soundboard?
Autumnal Blake says, SLU. Okay, that's all the time I've got. I've got to get back to playing Animal Crossing New Horizons on my Switch.
Nice.
What do we got here?
I mean, we forgot.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nikki's sweet releases.
It looks like the North American releases, again, might not be a top story. Don, why does he hate making them top stories? Why only Europe?
What's wrong with you?
What time are we at?
Shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll talk about this because I think this is so cool. I was telling Mom Brain about this actually outside of the podcast a couple days ago because I thought it was so cool. There is the Museum of English Rural Life, which has an exhibit showcasing rural smocks, which were outer garments worn by shepherds and wagoners.
That was a really great
So
story.
when they don't want to get their fancy garments all messy, they wear their rural smock to cover it up. So they have an exhibit showing off all those things, but obviously the museum is closed right now, so people can't go check out that exhibit. Well, the museum's official Twitter account has put out the call to Animal Crossing New Horizons players because they said, hey, you guys can use this dress that's in the game that is the perfect template for a rural smock. And then you go in with the pixel editor and you make your own design. So they want you to make your own smock designs, share them with them on Twitter. They want you to use a hashtag. All the information is in this post. And they are commenting on them. Hello, Ratmaster. Good to see you. They want you to tell about like what went into making them, what inspired them, make a little backstory about all of them. And what they're going to do is collect them. And on the museum's website, they're going to make a virtual exhibit and people will be able to go through and see your creations.
I think that's really cool.
It's a cool idea. It's something interesting for a museum to do. It's something great to keep you busy while you're at home. I love this idea. I think that's really neat.
Also shows that like the museum like cares about people and what
Yes.
people are interested in and is excited to share like their interests with as many people as possible.
Yeah, it's not something I would typically expect from a museum. And one of the people at the museum said we have to explain Animal Crossing to a few of our curators so that they understand what this is, but other ones are completely
I think museum curator would be a good job for me.
up to snuff on it. Autumnal Blake says, that's pretty neat. It's awesome to see the ways games can bring us all together in rough times. It is very neat. I really like that story. Probably one of my favorite stories of the week. And finally, let's end it with another drum roll, please. Warface has hit 1 million players on Switch. Warface, which launched roughly 1 month ago, has already hit 1 million players on Switch. That probably has something to do with the game being free to play. But nonetheless, 1 million people have downloaded the game. I am one of them. I have played it quite a bit. I greatly enjoy it. It's a fun It's a fun pick up and play, quick online shooter in Call of Duty style. Obviously not the same amount of polish, but still more than enough for fun. I really enjoy it. They say so far in the Switch version alone, Players have had nearly 500,000 player versus player matches. Total playtime for Warface on the Switch is over 83,000 days already. The most popular modes on Switch are player versus everyone missions with 1.2 million played and co-op special operations at 148,000 completed. Work on the game's next update is underway, and it's due out summer 2020, and they are looking for a simultaneous launch on all platforms, so Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. The Switch is officially considered as like part of the regular scheme going forward, so we're not going to get the shaft. Obviously, with 1 million players already enjoying the game on Switch, they got an audience to support, and I'm sure more people are going to continue to check that out. I know I will, because I've been having fun with it. That's it, all right.
All right.
Oh my God. That's all of our top stories, Mom Brain.
Wow.
We had a busy one this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. What have you been playing, Mom Brain?
Loads and loads of Animal Crossing. My resident, services building, like town hall, will be upgraded tomorrow. My house will be upgraded tomorrow to a house with a room.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Like an extra room. So I'll have 2 rooms.
A room, just a room. My house
have
has a room.
3 new residents who have moved in. I've split Wisp apart and put them back together, I think 3 times. I've had many visitors. I've gone visiting. Been stung by a few bees. I've crafted a bunch of things. Nintendo and I visited each other's islands today. She has the coolest seashell mermaid bed. It's amazing.
Whoa.
It's amazing.
All right. Important question. Scale of 1 to 10.
It's a 10. It's more than a 10.
Last I asked you, it was a 15.
Scale
of 1 to 10, please.
It's a 15.
Oh,
perhaps
still
a 20.
Oh, going up.
Look, it's just such perfect timing.
Drake says he's getting a campsite tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
And Alawolf says, gotta love Wisp.
Poor Wisp. Poor Wisp. I mean, I'm just pleased all around.
That's great, Mom Brain.
Yeah. How about you, Raw?
Wow. Thanks for asking. I played some Animal Crossing New Horizons this week, finally.
He refuses to let me visit his island or come visit my island.
No one is visiting my island until I get it into the shape I want.
Well, hurry up and do it. I bought you a tie-dye shirt.
Now, what did I tell you? Animal Crossing for me is not about hurrying. It's about taking your time and enjoying. I haven't put too much time into it, but the time I put into it, I greatly enjoyed. It's just a nice, relaxing game. I haven't played. When I go back in, Blathers is going to be waiting for me because I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to see Blathers and his museum and all that stuff. I just really like taking my time with it. It's not something that I want to be like, oh, I got to play every day. I got to get in there. If villagers leave, if islanders leave, whatever you want to call them, they leave. That's it. I'm just worried about my time on the island. I want to check things out at my own pace, and it's going to be the greatest island you've ever seen in your entire life when you are invited, if you are so lucky to be.
Wow. Okay. Well,
guest list is very short. Very short.
I'm going to kick you off of the island we're on right now.
So I did play that, but by and large, I've spent the vast majority of my video game playing this week playing Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
I have been playing it over and over and over again almost every day because it's an excuse to get together at night with friends online.
So it's really funny because Ramit is in his office slashing people and being slashed, and I'm in the living room playing Animal Crossing.
I loved Friday the 13th. Well, first off, I love Friday the 13th, this series in general. It's just great. Schlock is the word. It's great schlock. I love slasher movies, and they're just so goofy and silly and over the top. I love them. So I was excited about the game. Never got a chance to play. When it came to Switch, all my friends have a Switch, so I was like, this is the chance to play. And it obviously took some time to actually play it, but now is the perfect time. Everybody seemed interested. We jumped in, and we've been having an absolute blast. And each day I play it more, and I get a better appreciation for it. And also, if you're worried about playing and not having friends and there not being anything going on online, we get full games all the time when we play with strangers. They fill up right away. We enter games where there's only one slot left, so there's plenty of people playing. But yeah, we've been playing a ton and crying from laughing and just being scared, and it's just great. It is great. It's such a blast to play. I can't say enough good things about it, and it's only $25. And few of you have been very interested to see what it's like when we're playing. So as of last night, I recorded gameplay footage. I have I have nearly 2 hours of footage recorded, and I put together a video this morning. It is now available on our YouTube channel. It is pieces of 2 of the matches that we played, and you hear me and everybody else we're playing with, although they don't have, a lot of them don't have headsets that work with the Switch, so we just talk over the phone. I had the phone set up by a microphone, and it does more than fine. You can hear what everybody's saying. So you can hear me on the regular mic, you can hear everybody else over the phone, and I've edited together. It's not like a Parents Play where I add in funny stuff or anything like that. I just, cut it so I leave in the interesting or funny parts. And it's a 10-minute video of 2 different gameplay sessions in Friday the 13th. So go check that out. I'm really happy with how the video turned out. I think it showcases why the game is so fun, and the unique feelings you get when you're playing, like, it being funny and it being scary and it being intense and all that stuff. Thank you, Ratmastered. I appreciate you saying that. Ratmastered says, yeah, that was a good video. There's going to be more coming. I just need time to edit. Honestly, I need a break. I've been at the computer more than usual these past couple weeks because there's just so much going on. But I will edit together at least one more video. So check that out if you haven't seen what the game is about and you're interested in learning more about it. It's a blast. What's the matter?
The cat's trying to eat a beard hair that's on the floor.
Let him do it.
Stop it.
Let him do it.
And then he's gonna puke it up.
It's like so what is that? Samson?
What?
Something about hair with Samson. Look it up.
I'm busy.
You are not busy.
I don't wanna look at that.
But yeah, other than no, that's not all I played. That's a lie. I played some of Half-Life Alyx this week. Now I'm going to say this right off the bat. I would be playing more Half-Life Alyx if I didn't have to go through the rigmarole of setting it all up. And I know that sounds extremely lazy, and I'm sure it is lazy, and I completely take those complaints. But after working all day, I don't want to have to go through the setup of... So here's what I got to do. I have an Oculus Quest. And my desktop isn't powerful enough to play, but my laptop is. So I get out the laptop, I set it up in the living room, run the cord to plug it in. Then I have to clear out a space in the living room. Then I have to take the Oculus Quest and get that all set up. I have to take the link cable and plug the link cable into the laptop and get everything running. And then I can finally play. So it's like a 15-minute setup to get into it. And then because you're in VR, obviously, it's more exhausting than a regular game. So I played for like an hour and a half maybe, and I'm like, okay, I got to take a break. So if I didn't have to go, like if I had a permanent setup where I could just go in, bloop, put it on and play, I'd be more into it. But it's no reflection on the game at all. It's just, I'm an old man and I'm tired. But what I did play, wow, it's by far the best VR game I've ever played. It's unbelievable and so immersive, and they did such a good job of, just adding in those little touches and details. Oh, this guy, you gotta go, dude. It's amazing. The attention to detail is mind blowing, and how immersive it is unbelievable. Like walking around environments and picking up boxes to move them, to jump on top of them, to get inside of a building. And there's lots of moments where the game doesn't tell you what to do, where you have to figure out puzzles, which I love. That's a hallmark of Half-Life for me. Just things where you're like, what the hell do I do? How do I work with this? Where am I supposed to go? And you just figure it out organically. And there's a whole new layer to that in VR, which is so amazing. It's mind blowing, really. And the whole way you have like a gravity glove, basically, where you point at things and you flick your wrist and it comes flying towards you. And instead of like it touching you and you collect it, like what happened in most games, you had to actually catch it when it flies at you. So you just like, there's like a bucket on the floor and you point it and you go whoop with your wrist and it flies at you and then you catch it. And if you're me, you automatically put the bucket on your head to see if you can do it. So I can't say enough good things about it. Using ammo is amazing. And I know that sounds so dumb. When you get ammo, you pick it up and you have to take your hand and physically put your hand behind your back, like you're putting it in a bag on your back. And that's how you reload as well. You have to take the clip and actually physically put it into the gun. So you're connecting your two hands in real life. Holy moly. It's mind blowing. Yes, it's Mr. Mind blowing. Like it is something else. I'm so excited to get back into it. The part that I have played isn't too action heavy. Trying to think if I've shot anything. I've shot locks off doors. Man, I'm just realizing now that I don't think I've shot a single enemy yet. Oh yeah, I have. There's those things
You're a
that
pacifist.
there's those things that hang on the ceiling with the giant tongues. I shot one of those, but I haven't really gotten to enemies yet. But I know that's what's coming. That's where I stopped. Reese Darby is amazing in it. He's he's in your earpiece all the time. He's the sidekick, and he's
who's a big Reese Darby fan?
Nikki Hill. I know he's like what's the guy in Portal 2? You know who I'm talking about, but that's the kind of character that he plays, and I am also a big fan of Reese Darby. He's really good in this. It's just amazing. It's fantastic. I really, 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 really want to play it more. I just need more time. All right, yeah, I need to be not so tired. I'm thinking about playing this weekend because I can actually like take a nap at some point and then wake up and feel refreshed. Hi, Storbajorvs Karzen. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. So yeah, that's what I played. I have to get back into Ori, which I was gushing about last week, and I just haven't played. My priority for me right now is playing online with friends, because to hang out with friends virtually and talk to friends, that's important and fun and good and feels right. Like, I'm not going to be like, nah, guys, I'm not playing whatever. I'm going to go play something by myself, because I will never have as much fun playing something alone as I will with friends. So hopefully that comes across in the video too. All right, let's do questions. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, Roth, I see your comment there about the barnacles in the game. I was doing that too, but one accidentally caught me, so I shot one. Today's question comes from Chris. How's the neck, Chris? If anybody gets that reference, email me. Chris says, I agree with you that every future Pokemon game doesn't need or is required to have thousands of Pokemon in said games. Isn't that what Pokemon Bank is for? After Gen 4 or 5, this move should have been implemented then. Anyone who disagrees just wants their Magikarp and eat it too. I have nothing against people who want every Pokemon in every mainline Pokemon game. I get it. I understand it. And I understand you being upset. That poster is falling, my brain. You got to fix Conan. I totally get it. But yeah, like I said, there comes a point where you just can't do that anymore, because it takes too much time and it takes too much manpower, and it just doesn't make sense. You're going to spend 7 years working on a game just to implement the new Pokemon and then get to work on everything else. So it is a sad situation, but I believe it to be a completely understandable one. And those Pokemon can live on in Bank and will be implemented in other spin-off games as well. So I think it's about as good as a situation as you can ask for, but that doesn't make it any less disappointing or upsetting. So I understand both sides. Bye, Joe. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you next week.
Bye, Joe.
So yeah, it had to be done. I honestly think it had to be done. Or they had to stop making new Pokemon, one or the other. And I think making new Pokemon is more important. The herd. That's the catchphrase. Gotta thin the herd. Gotta thin the herd. I think between making new Pokemon and just stopping Pokemon altogether, I think it's important to make new Pokemon because they bring people in and get people excited. All right. Today's Patreon question comes from Nico Darunia. If you'd like to join a Patreon, you can visit patreon.com/GoNintendo. It's just $1.
Shut up. I don't care.
Thanks, Josh. Where I have a new feature every weekday, and I'm working on a new video feature. Not as we speak, but
whatever.
So yeah, it's just $1 if you want to check that out. Nico Darunia says, if a Yoshi and a Birdo mate, which of the two lays the egg? What is the baby called? A Boshi or a Yordo?
It's definitely a Yordo.
Okay, first things first. Boshi exists. Boshi was Yoshi's like arch enemy in Super Mario RPG. So his name was Boshi, but that's it. We're taking Boshi out. It's Yordo.
Definitely Yordo.
It's definitely Yordo. Which of the two lays the eggs? Well, Birdo pukes out the eggs, and Yoshi poops out the eggs. So I'm going with Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yoshi lays the eggs.
For sure.
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
What do you think, Josh? Do you like Boshi?
Why would you say that?
So you like Yordo then?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, glad I asked you. Can Yordo both spit and lay eggs?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess, yeah.
No. Some can spit and some can lay.
Oh, I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Pokemon. If so, can it spit an egg and poop another at the same time?
No, it cannot. It's either or.
So a Yordo can only poop an egg or spit an egg.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we really hashed that out.
Yeah.
Like we figured
It's
it out right away.
It's a good thing that Nikki Hill's not here because he would have complicated it.
So it's definitely a Yordo. It can either lay eggs or spit out eggs. And that's that.
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Great job, Mom Brain. Great job. We really did it. Glad we could sort that out. Great question, Nico Darunia. And I'm glad we could solve that for you. So from now on, all your fan fiction, please use Yordo instead of Boshi.
A big hello to my fans.
Okay. Excuse me.
I am the world's best singer.
World's best singer, master of the milk bubble, it sounds like.
Hey, Nikki Hill just popped in the chat.
Nikki Hill says, hey, everybody, I was watching on my phone, so I couldn't do both the chat and watch. How are you all doing? Why don't you watch on TV?
Shut up. I don't care.
Wow. Well, Nikki Hill, you stick around for the after show because we're done here. This is it. Mom Brain, we did another one.
I'm so sorry to everyone who finds just the two of us to be lackluster.
Just the two of us.
But I got to tell you that we are having a great quarantine, quite frankly. Hey, you wanna show everybody your sweet John Cena dog tag?
Oh, that's maybe the after show.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
A big hello to my fans.
Does he need a big goodbye to my fans? Do we need to switch to that?
I think so.
If you want to check out that, oh yeah, let's do our camera thing for the picture. 3, 2, 1. Okay. If you want to see Nikki Hill in action, Nikki Hill, we miss you being here too. I'm glad we get to play games together. If you want to see Nikki Hill in action in Friday the 13th, you can check out the video that I posted today. Because I will say Nikki Hill, in my opinion, is the star of the show because he's got some amazing moments. There's some really good stuff in there. Also, I gotta say, we had Gamblor in there, which is a longtime site reader or site fan. He's a big fan of the game, has pumped hundreds of hours into it, and he just popped in when we were playing, so he joined us. He wasn't talking to us, obviously, but he joined us in that video, and he is a master, so you can watch a master at play as well. The video's got everything. Terrible playing, Great playing, funny moments, scary moments. It's a good one. Really happy with how it came out. Drake, I haven't watched any anime lately. No, I need to because my comics are on hold because our comic store is closed right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Did you see what Wolfric Chaser said to me?
Today's top, Mom Brain, tell Rami I miss today's top stories and the lighting of Friday's lights. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. What can I do? Maybe that's something. Maybe that's something for the Patreon. I could bring it back in some way. All it takes is more time, and once somebody figures out how to add more time into a day, once we get past that 24-hour mark, man, anything is possible.
Brian Rollins says, "Great show. Good luck on your exclusive premium island, RMC."
Well, looks like I know one person who's not going to be invited. All right, my friends, that is it for today. Thanks for watching, liking, all that good stuff. We'll be back next week. Play some games, hang out with friends and family, rest, relax. You deserve it.
Stay home. Wash your hands.
Turn the page, wash your hands. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.